Hello people and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video we are going to be focusing on Fatih Terim's Galatasaray's 4-1-4-1 formation. Now this was requested a lot, I mean a lot. So a big shout out to my Turkish subscribers and thank you for engaging in my videos. But for now, let's get started. Believe it or not, this is currently Fatih Terim's fourth term at Galatasaray. In December 2017, the ex-Galatasaray player replaced Igor Tudor as manager, but the contract was only until the end of the 2018-19 season. With 18 games left remaining, they produced some great results, winning 14, drawing once and losing 3 times. To no surprise, he was then offered a 2-year extension, an interesting one, as no wages were agreed, with the club president the one deciding the wages. In 2019, Galatasaray became the champions of the 2018-19 Super League season. This was now his 8th league title in Turkey, and to celebrate in front of fans 52,000, Fatih Terim signed another contract and also celebrated his 45th anniversary with the club in 2019. At the time of writing this, Galatasaray are currently sitting in first place, with Fatih Terim possibly winning 3 league titles in 4 seasons. So let's look at his tactical methods. So far this season, Fatih Terim has preferred the 4-1-4-1 shape and has adopted more of a possession-based tactical style. This formation suits that. The 3-man in midfield help Galatasaray both build up and support the attack, bridging the gap between defence and attack. Antalya and Belhanda have been the star players in midfield. When Galatasaray build up, they do it with patience, hoping their ball retention and players' movements off the ball will progress them up the pitch. Antalya is key in deeper areas, as he needs to be available to collect passes and dictate the tempo, but also his positioning allows the wing-backs to stretch play. Instead of looking for direct passes into forward players, the central midfielders would also drop off to receive the ball, finding space and pockets for the better passing angles. Counter movements are important here when building up also. When one player drops to receive the ball, then another moves slightly ahead, and this can disrupt the opponent's shape, especially in midfield. Galatasaray so far are averaging 54% average possession, 4th most in the Super League, with an 83.1% pass completion ratio, which might not sound all impressive, but that ranks them 3rd in the Super League. They also like to build up centrally, though not exclusively. Depending on the opponent's shape, Galatasaray having 3-man in midfield could allow them to have a numerical advantage, and to collect the ball, the wide wingers could also be seen drifting into more narrow spaces to receive the ball. The central areas are key for Galatasaray, as this is where a lot of their action happens. 23% of Galatasaray's attacks have happened in central areas, and that's the 4th most in the Super League. Whilst managing to attack the left side 40% of the time, the right side is hardly used, and in the Super League, no other team have attacked the right side less. Even in an attack, they prefer to create and score their chances in central areas, and either side is hardly used for a shooting opportunity. 73% of Galatasaray's attempts have come from the middle area. But this is where their key players also operate. Their defensive midfielder, Antalya, is key in build-up phases as he holds his position in central midfield, but is the main focal in building up and averages the most passes per game for Galatasaray. Belhanda in central midfield is also another key player, a creative one. He likes to operate slightly further ahead than Antalya and also has played the most key passes for Galatasaray. So, for the style of play and Fatih Terim's conclusion, in the 25 Super League games so far, Galatasaray have scored 50 goals, and they are generally a positive side. Despite them scoring the 2nd most goals in the league, they have also kept the best defensive record in the league by some distance too. Only 19 goals conceded, giving them a clean sheet percentage of 48%. In attack, the patience with the ball remains. They hardly result in taking long shots, though they certainly have the players for it. Most of their shots attempted are from the 18-yard box, 63%, which ranks them 1st in shots from the 18-yard box. Only 34% of their shots have come from outside the box, and that ranks them 19th. Whenever possible, they refrain from longer passes. Only 3 other sides have played less longer passes per game than Galatasaray, and to back the claim that Fatih Terim prefers possession, Galatasaray plays 429 short passes per game. Only 3 other teams have more. Off the ball, you can see them use a high to mid block trying to steal the ball from the opposition. They don't necessarily aim to try and win the ball back high, they actually might prefer in some games to drop deeper and invite the opponents to bring the ball out. They'd rather much prefer to win the ball back by interceptions or forcing errors rather than engaging into a tackle. But that wraps up my Fatih Terim style of play. I hope you enjoyed it. We are now going to look at the Football Manager 2021 tactic I created. Of course, it's a Fatih Terim's recreation. And now let's dive into that. So here we are, RDS Fatih Terim's 4-1-4-1 Galatasaray tactic. So in goal, we have the sweeper keeper on the defend duty. Our left back, he's the fullback on attack. Given he does have the attack duty, he is going to be penetrating. The right back is the wing back, who will also look to get further forward and support the midfield alongside the flank. In central defence, we have one ball playing defender and we have one central defender. If you want more possession or you want to be more possession based, even more than this tactic is, then I would suggest you change it to central defender. A central defender is more likely to play more safer passes than a ball playing defender. He's going to look to play the more risky passes, try and start counter attacks. In defensive midfield, we have the deep line playmaker. He is the Thailand Antalya role. He's the deep line playmaker, someone that's going to dictate the tempo and he's going to hold his position. If he's holding his position though, it's down to these two players here to roam from their position and leave their positions to come and collect the ball. So we are now going to talk about the box midfielder, because he is the main player that's going to bridge the midfield and the attack. He's going to be the main link, making sure the gap isn't too distant, but also when the deep line playmaker has the ball, he's going to leave his position and look for pockets to be more effective. The same for the advanced playmaker. When your deep players have the ball, he is going to roam from his position and try and be effective in other areas, obviously being an option to receive a pass. He has more direct passes as he's added instructions and also roam from position. On the left hand side, we have the inverted winger on the attack. Like I said in the analyst, Galatasaray do prefer the left hand side if they do prefer a side at all. 40% of the attack happens on the left hand side, making the right hand side hardly ever used. And that is also why I went with two attacking duties on the left hand side, to try and get attacks happen more intense on the left hand side, a little bit more natural than me just selecting focus play down the left. So on the right hand side, we do have the inverted winger on the support duty. Up top, we do have a central forward, someone that's going to do or has to do a bit of everything. He's going to hold up the ball, dribble more, take more risks, get further forward, move into channels and roam from his position. You will notice that roam from position is actually key in the central areas, especially in the advanced areas, but your central forward would have the responsibility of getting in behind the defence line, as no other player in the Galatasaray team has the responsibility to do so. But also he has to drop back to collect the ball, and he at times can act like a deep line forward, as in he has to drop deep and he can spray passes to the flanks before getting into the box himself. So for the team instructions, for the mentality, we have gone with the positive mentality. For the attacking width, we have gone for fairly narrow, try and channel our play into the central areas. For the approach play, sorry, I just removed pass into space because it shouldn't be there. For the approach play, we do have focus through the middle and we do have play out of defense. When you are focusing through the middle, of course, a lot of your attacks will happen in the central areas, or the attacks in the central areas will happen more intensively. But what would happen also is that your wingers may be inclined to come in central areas, especially just to help out your players. For the passing directness, we have gone for the shorter passing, and for the tempo, we have gone for the lower tempo. If you do use this tactic in a league, something like, I don't know, the Premier League, where things are much more quicker, then I would advise you to increase your tempo. In the final third, we have worked the ball into the box. Like I said, Galatasaray, they don't really shoot from outside the box at all, though they certainly do have the players for it. In transition, when the possession has been lost, we are going to counter press to try and win the ball back for us to win the ball. That doesn't mean we are going to engage in tackles. When you are counter pressing, you are putting pressure on your opponents, and this can force the mistake, or we can actually intercept the ball also. When possession has been won, we are going to hold shape. When the goalkeeper is in possession, he will be taking short kicks. Out of possession, we have the standard line of engagement. Now this can actually ask or force your opponents to play from the defence, and we do have the higher defence line. The defensive width is set to standard, the marking and tackling we are using tighter marking, and the pressing intensity is set to more urgent. We do have prevent short goalkeeper distribution also. And that wraps up my Fatih Terim's 4-1-4-1 FM21 tactic, and we are now going to look at the results because they are important is this recreation actually good? So in the competitions in the Turkish Super League, we played 40, we won 32, we drew 7 and we lost 1. We had a goal difference of 63, getting 103 points, which is a lot. It is a lot. Average possession, we came in 4th with 53%. I believe in real life we have 54%, so we're not too far away. For the goals scored, we came in 3rd, but we do have the best expected goals for in the league. We scored the most from corners and we had the highest pass completion ratio in the league. We did complete the second most passes in the league also, with 17,467 passes completed. And for the clear-cut chances created, we did create the most clear-cut chances in the league. Defensively, we were the best team in the league, and I mean that by far. In the league, we only conceded 13 goals. The team that came in second conceded 37, so that's how big the gap was defensively. We did have the best clean sheets because of that, and we got 27 clean sheets in the league. For our tackles won, we didn't win many tackles, but we do have the best tackles won ratio. That's because we wasn't too aggressive, meaning we didn't lose many of our battles. But for the interceptions, we were higher up, much higher up. We were 6th with interceptions. Like I said, Fatih Terim must prefers to win the ball back by interceptions rather than engaging in tackles. So now we're going to check how we scored most of our goals in the league. Most of our goals came from play shots. 32 of them came from play shots. 8 came from powerful shots. 13 from headers. And 7 from penalties. Our assists, 9 from corners, 8 from free kicks, 8 from short passes, 12 from crosses, which could be pullbacks also, 3 from opposition mistakes, 4 from through balls, 2 from medium passes and 1 from a square ball. Defensively, our defensive efficiency, you can see that we were quiet and impenetrable. In the squad though, we are going to check our squad stats. So for the goals, the top goal scorer in our team was Mustafa Mohammed. He scored 33 goals in 53 games. Emre managed to score 15 goals in 42 games. Our centre-back got 9 goals and Henry managed to get 8. For our assists, Sofian Feghouli managed to get 14 assists, whilst Yunus Belhanda managed to get 9. Marcelo Saracchi got 7 and Umar, our right back, got 7 alongside Arda Turan, who also got 7. In other cups in the Europa League, we got knocked out in the group stages, which isn't good enough. That's below the board expectations. But in the Turkish Cup, we won in the final, beating Fenerbahce 1-0 in the final. Actually, we beat Fenerbahce 3 times this season, twice at home, once away. So all the Galatasaray fans must be happy about that. And I'm sorry to any Fenerbahce fans that may be watching. But now we're actually going to look at the training and what I did for training. So when there was 1 match during the week, this is what I went for. And when there was 2 matches in the week, this is what it looks like. Literally the same, they're both similar. Apart from when there's 2 matches in the week, of course there is an added match during the week. But that wraps up my Fatih Terim's 4141 Galatasaray tactical analyst. My name is RDF and it has been a pleasure doing this video for you. So make sure if you are enjoying this content to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button and also leave a comment of any suggestions or recommendations you may have. My name is RDF and also shout out to any Turkish subscribers who may be subscribed to my channel and shout out to all my Patreons. I will see you soon, stay safe, peace out.